Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's adventure is a very unique one. We're in a spot that I was in probably about 2 weeks ago with, again, a rather interesting tent. Today, I've got another interesting tent. I've got it pitched in this little awning configuration because it was pouring with rain on the way here hiking through the open spots. I'm in the dense forest right now, so there's not really a lot going on as far as rain right now. It is still cloudy, it is still dark and gloomy, and there is still rain in the forecast, so decided to pitch the tent in this fashion. That way, if it does pour with rain, I'll have a little bit of working space here. So, campfire ring is already set up. There's plenty of firewood in the area, but right now I'm gonna get out my stove and get started on a hot coffee. All right, guys, I've got my cup of coffee on the go right now, and it is sprinkling very, very lightly with rain. It is horrendously hot out right now. Don't let this sweater fool you. I'm bundled up in pants and sweater because the mosquitoes and the ticks are absolutely horrendous today. It may or may not be picking up on camera, but any day it rains and turns to hot and humid, the mosquitoes just come out like crazy. So, unfortunately, I need to stay bundled up for the time being. I do have my mosquito protector right behind me, hanging up here, and it is starting to kick in. The mosquitoes are starting to get out of here, so hopefully within the next few minutes, I may be able to sneak out of my sweater and enjoy a little bit of this breeze that's coming through here because it is so hot. But with these mosquitoes buzzing around, I'd much rather sweat than get eaten alive. So I'm going to relax for a little bit. Boomer's taking a nap on the other side of the tent in his bright yellow rain jacket, so he's loving that. And yeah, just going to enjoy this and enjoy the coffee. And then we are going to collect a little bit of firewood because I do want to have a small fire right in front of the tent. Very small because I don't want the embers burning it. I certainly don't need the heat, but it would be nice to get some smoke rolling to get these bugs out of here even more and enjoy a little bit of the ambience of the crackling campfire and smoke and stuff like that. It just makes the experience that much better. So let's enjoy coffee and then we'll get to work. Alright guys, I've got a fair bit of firewood prepped here. Now as I was saying earlier, I don't need the fire for heat. I don't really need it for light because I have lanterns that I brought with me. I don't even need it for cooking as I did the last time I camped here. I actually cooked on the fire. This time I brought a stove and yeah, I kind of want the fire for aesthetics. I want the glow, I want the snap, the crackle. I do want the smoke to get some of these bugs out of here. But for the most part, they seem to be kind of bugging off for now. The clouds in the sky, I mean, just dark and gloomy, so it could rain at any point, and I really don't want to invest a lot of my time into a fire if I'm not able to have one. So what I've got here is a mix of hardwood and softwood, very dry. Mainly the hardwood is kind of what I'm aiming for. I don't want to be burning the softwood. It'll spit embers that could potentially burn, melt the tent, and I don't want to damage the gear. So going with the hardwood will be the best option for that. I do have 2 blackened pieces of wood on the outside of the fire pit. Those were left here from whoever was here last time. I pulled them out of the fire pit. Those are hardwood pieces, so they will burn without spitting embers. So I'm going to keep that off to the side. Everything looks dry so far, so everything should burn okay. Touching on food, it is later in the evening now. The day is just flying by, and doing these hiking trips in the summer, it is hot, it is muggy. Bringing fresh steak or burgers or fish or whatever, any kind of meat or perishable item is not that easy, and it's not smart on long trips either. So this time, today, it's not going to be a fancy supper. Sure, I did bring a little bit of vegetables, I've got some pasta and stuff like that, but bringing steak and burgers out on long trips that are really hot and muggy, if you're really moving and you plan on hitting camp early in the day and then staying in that spot the whole day and cooking, sure, you can do that. But as I'm rolling in the evening now, if I brought fish or chicken or meat, it would have gone bad. Yeah, it would have thawed out. It wouldn't be a good situation. So typically what I like to do in shoulder season areas where it is warm, freeze the meat, pack it in clothing, roll it up, bottom of the backpack, keep it out of the sunlight, and usually it's still a little bit frozen by the time dinner time comes. If not, it's still cold. It certainly hasn't gone bad. But today, being 28, 29 degrees, really sticky, muggy, not a good idea to bring fresh meat or perishables. So going to be doing a little bit of a backpacker's kind of mix of food, you know, something simple and fast, but still adding some fresh food to it as well. Boomer is taking a little nap down here. I've got to get him out of his rain jacket because it hasn't rained in a little while, so we'll get him out of that. Firewood is prepped and ready to go. I will touch on the sleep system briefly because every video I upload seems for the last 5-6 years the comments drop down, what tent is that, what's this, what's that. So I will touch on the gear very briefly and then we'll roll right into supper. All right, so really quickly touching on some of the gear. This tent is a 2-person tent coming from Fire Maple. Right now, it is the only tent that they make that I'm aware of. It's very unique, kind of like mustard, orangish, kind of yellow color. I actually like it a lot. It's almost like an off tan kind of color. Very unique, like it. 2-person size, external fly, comes off 2 pieces. There is a ground sheet. I didn't use it today, but there is a ground sheet. For the backpack, I've got my Fjallraven Keb 52. This thing is absolute champ, ridiculously rugged, and it's the G1000 material. You can wax it to make it even more waterproof and repellent. Inside of the tent, kind of have to move around Boomer here. I can't really open the door right now because there are bugs and mosquitoes kind of flying around, so I'm going to try and sneak a little bit of this out and then plug it with a sleeping bag. So this sleeping bag is from a company called Atepa. It is the same company as the air pad that I'm using today, which is an insulated pad on either side that has mylar foil. It actually gets really, really warm and it packs up really small. Don't know the exact specs on it right now here today, but it's from Atepa. If you're interested, go to their website, check it out, and learn a little bit more about it. The sleeping bag from Atepa as well. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because this sleeping bag has these straps. It is made for their sleeping pad. So the bottom of this is like a bed sheet. It literally fits snug onto the sleeping pad. And it being a rectangular down-filled bag, zippers on both sides, you can unfold it. So your pad and sleep system and sleeping bag is one. So when you get in, your sleeping bag's not rolling off. If you roll over in the middle of the night, you're not pulling it off the pad. It's awesome. I love it. And like I said, it being a rectangular pad, it gives you the option to unzip it and let it flop down, or unzip one side and kind of like regular sleeping bag. So that's what's going on there. For the sleep or the cook system, I'm using the Trangia. I believe this is the 27. It's hard anodized, so like nothing sticks to this pan. The pots are awesome, nothing sticks to that either. And for fuel, I'm using methyl hydrate. That's what I've been using for years. It works really, really great. And that's basically it for the big items of gear. This is the first time using this tent, so if it does rain, which I'm really hoping it does, I will let you guys know how it works out. There are 2 vents in the top. You can pitch it like an awning, and there's actually a very unique way when the door is totally shut like an awning. There's a little tab where you can actually roll it up. So the awning's still pitched, but when you're laying down, you can see out underneath, which means airflow can come in on both sides of the tent without rain getting inside, which is really unique. So this is really designed for rain, wind, so on and so forth. So with that stuff out of the way, I will also mention I have some new toys that are on the way. This guy got a big old dent in it. The metal folded. It's not the brand's fault, it's actually my fault. But they're going to send me 3 new toys that I'm very excited to start using once those arrive. So, a little bit of gear talk there. Let's get into cooking. All right, guys, nightfall is basically here, and I'm inside of the tent now. The fire is just about out. I can't sit out there any longer. The humidity is unbearable. Sitting next to that fire is not something that I'm comfortable doing. So I've got the sleeping bag set up, totally locked into the sleeping pad, which is incredible. This is awesome. But I don't think I'm going to need the sleeping bag tonight. I've got both sides unzipped. And I'm just basically going to toss it off of me and use it as a sheet on top of the pad. Realistically, it is so muggy and just humid right now. Unbearable. No breeze here at all. Just very, very, very hot. So I'm excited for fall and winter to come back around. But right now, we're in the tent, and there's a ton of room inside of here. I got to say, there's absolutely enough room for 2 people in here. 1 person and a little dog. This is a palace. Loving this. So I'm going to be crashing out in here. I've got a movie to watch. I've got to strip down to like my boxer shorts and just lounge and try and cool down. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot. Just looking out, there's a little bit of red embers still out there. Basically gone out. I've got the awning pitched open still. I'm probably just going to sleep like that for the night. There's no need to shut it. Let that breeze roll in, and hopefully it'll cool off, but I doubt it. So I'm going to say goodnight to you guys now. I'm going to pop on a movie, strip out of these clothes, and I'll see you guys first thing in the morning for coffee. Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful, cloudy, cool, kind of damp morning this morning. So last night, it did rain a little bit. It was very, very light rain for about 6, maybe 7 hours. The tent did get soaking wet to the point where it was actually running and dripping with water. No rain came inside the door, and I had it open like this the entire evening. Two reasons for that. One, it didn't rain heavy, and two, it was actually pushing in this way, so this was actually working as a very, very good awning. Had it have been reversed and the rain coming in this way, I probably would have had to close the door. But things went well last night. Slept very, very, very well. Very snug, and now hot cup of coffee on the go this morning. Now, unfortunately, there are the sounds of heavy machinery operating not here, kilometers away. It's logging equipment. So unfortunately, this time of the year, you just never know what's going to happen in the forest. And it sounds like they're doing a new cut. There's a lake and a hill over there. There's a little bit of a stream and clearing over here. It's hard to tell when you're on top of these peaks and you go down the valleys and over how close those machinery actually are. It's very, very far away, but every now and then the sound travels, and all I can hear is the sounds of harvesters and trucks, and it is not something that I want to wake up to. So we're just going to be doing coffee this morning, and then a little bit of clean up and pack up. Nothing crazy. Just like I said, this time of the year you never know what's going to happen. One day totally silent, the next morning they move job sites, or they get up and start harvesting and trucking and moving equipment, and it's not my sound. I don't want to hear it. So, not going to be sticking around too much here today. This gear loadout that I chose on this trip is actually very minimalistic, in the sense of everything's easy to pack up. Everything has a lot of uses to it. It's not just single-use items, so it's nice to have everything be able to pack up very quickly, very simply. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. Everything went really well last night, I will say that. Like I was saying, a little bit of rain, a little bit of dampness, no condensation in the tent, loads of room, and everything else is working really, really well. So I'm going to kick back and enjoy my coffee just for a few moments, despite the logging equipment. I'm just going to try and block it out and listen to the birds. Cheers, guys, and good morning. Alright guys, so just doing a little bit of a tidy up right now, getting all the hard goods in an area where it can be collapsed and packed up. Of course I gotta wait till my coffee's done, because that has to go inside the bag with the coffee filter. As far as the soft goods go, so hard goods as in defined shaped items, soft goods as variable shaped items. What I'm going to do is the sleeping pad, I'm just going to deflate all the air out of it. The down bag I'm going to leave inside with the pad inside the inner tent, and I'm not going to disconnect the fly from the outer tent, but what I'm going to do is take all the pegs out of the ground, all the guy lines, get those back to where they need to go, collapse this, zip the door shut, and I'm going to have to take the fly off actually, because the poles, where this is a two-part tent. So that just kind of foiled my plans a little bit. The reason why I'm mentioning this is it's starting to rain a little bit. And typically when I have an exoskeleton tent, when the poles are on the outside, I can leave everything inside of the tent, take the poles off, and then roll the tent in a ball and cram it in the backpack, everything inside the tent. Very, very quick, very simply. But not really thinking this morning, I can't do that with this tent. So I'm going to have to take the rain fly off, but I'm going to have to work very quickly because it is starting to very, very finely mist with rain, and I do have to travel in the open. So I'm going to take the fly off, do all that, and then leave everything inside the inner tent, roll it, cram it in the backpack. It'll still work, it'll just be one more extra step. So I'm going to try and do that very quickly and then get out of here before I get dumped on with rain. So I want to thank you guys very much for joining me on this adventure. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below, and be sure to check all the links down in the description, because there's always things happening on the other channel and on the Instagram. And there are some big things coming up that I'm gonna have to trickle in and drop little Easter eggs here and there, and bring you guys up to speed with what has been happening over the course of the last few months and what is going to happen going forwards. I've already shared half that with you. The other half is a little bit more intricate, and I think a lot of you guys are going to be shocked with what is played out. So be sure to check the links in the description, and I'm going to get all this packed up, and I'll see you guys in the next one.